All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us again for another mscrm add-ons webinar. My name is Clint Higley. Today what we're going to be covering is Dynamics 365 version 9 and kind of give you an overview of what's new at mscrm-addons.com. Just basically a couple of new things that we're working on, and kind of give you an overview of what to expect from us in the coming year with some of our products and things of that nature. As usual, we do record all these webinars so you can come back and refer to it. They're usually posted online at least within 24 hours after the webinar. And we do send you a link and you know, all these slides and everything like that, so you have them. Other thing is, if you have any questions or anything like that, down there in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, in the meeting burner screen, you'll see a little chat tab. If you want to click on that, you can ask any questions or anything like that during the webinar. And I have some team members in here that will answer those questions. And then at the end, time permitting, we'll do some live Q&A. So I want to go ahead and get started here, talk a little bit about Dynamics 365 version 9, the July/October update. A little bit of the impact on mscrm-addons.com customers and partners. So, one of the things is, as we all know, that version 9 is already out. If you've started up any new online, test instances of Dynamics 365, you've noticed that you are using version 9. Version 9 brings a lot of new stuff to the table. A couple of things. There's a whole bunch that I could go over here. But usually what I like to do is take my top 3 things, just so you know. One of the things that I'm excited about, there is the unified client interface and the web client refresh. If you haven't seen these, I would highly suggest to take a look at them. I find that they're very clean, very easy to navigate. Also, they scale, so basically they scale between mobile, a tablet, the web interface, everything like that. So they scale really easily. Again, they just look good, and it's very responsive, a little bit faster than Dynamics 365 version 8 is right now. So it's just really going to be a really good improvement. And it's going to look good and kind of brings it up to date as to what we're used to seeing now, when we're browsing the internet and everything like that. So that'll be really, really nice. The other thing that I think is really great is what are known as multi-select option sets. This basically allows you to create option sets where you can actually have multiple selections in them. It's a really, really good thing, something that everybody's kind of been wanting for a long time. And I think it's going to be a really, really great feature. The other thing that I think is really good is what are known as virtual entities. And this, I think, is probably one of the most exciting things that's happening in version 9, is the fact that these virtual entities, they're really similar to the entities that we know, except that it's actually external data. This external data that you access via these virtual entities is read in at runtime. So it's not stored in your Dynamics 365 database. So you can actually use these virtual entities to pull information from other systems and things of that nature. So you can see it in Dynamics 365. So it's kind of like they're taking Dynamics 365 and making it kind of like a portal to all your other systems, and everything's all in one place. So you don't have to hop around or do some weird kind of connection. And everything's done, again, at runtime, so it's it's the latest and greatest data. A couple of things that I'm going to be talking about today, as far as some changes that are happening for us next year. Talk a little bit about licensing and pricing, what you're going to need for version 9. Some of the technical aspects of it, and some of the features and our roadmap, basically, that's going to be happening. So the first thing I'm going to discuss here is licensing with Dynamics version 365 version 9. So for the licensing for all our products, new licenses are actually required. I know that so as of I think so 2015, 2016, and Dynamics 365 version 8.2. We had the same license, and your license will work totally across the board. That unfortunately has changed, and now you're going to need a new license. Really easy to get one though. If you have a support and maintenance agreement with us, you just need to write us at support@mscrm-addons.com and go ahead and request that new license when you're ready for it. Really simple to do. We can look your thing up and then upgrade your license. The other thing, though, is like if you're using one of our online services, like say for example the Documents Core PAC online service or the Attachment Extractor online service, and you have an active subscription with us, these licenses are going to be updated automatically, so you don't have to really do anything. So that's really just if you have the online service, it's real easy. You just have to just upgrade to version 9. You're pretty much good to go. Pricing, we have the new 2018 price list available on our website. Again, so when you get these slides, you have some links down there below that'll get you your pricing in Euro and to your pricing in US dollars. Perpetual and subscription options are now available for all solutions. So you know, the subscription option was available only for Documents Core PAC and Attachment Extractor. Now all our solutions, you know, if you want to do a subscription or if you want to do a perpetual, that's your choice. Subscriptions are required if the add-on is hosted by us. So you know, you can't buy a perpetual online service from us. That's the only thing. So if you're going to use the Documents Core PAC online service or the Attachment Extractor online service, you do have to a subscription is required for that. Another thing that we're offering is a couple of things that we found. It's going to be these quick start packages. These are going to be packages that we're going to offer. We're still trying to figure out, you know, costs and things of that nature for these. Some will be free, some will be minimum. It just all depends on what you want. But things like that would be like, for example, with telephone integration, a compatibility check for your phone system. For Documents Core PAC, it would be like template design. You know, if you want to do templates, or like, you know, basically coming in and helping you set up your entire the entire Documents Core PAC system, getting up and running, things of that nature. So we'll be posting these quick start packages online. There'll be like for example, you can purchase like your Documents Core PAC licenses plus one of these options. So we'll be offering some services just related to our add-ons, you know, to kind of help you get up and going very, very quickly. So now let's talk a little bit about the technical aspect of it. So availability of these of our newest versions. The new version 9 compatible versions are available already. You can get those from the Microsoft AppSource. You just go in there. It's pretty simple to do. It automatically downloads the whole package and data and everything like that, puts it on there. Then we have a quick start little piece in there where you just click on it and it tells you exactly what you need to do to install it. Or if you're like on-premise or you're hosting your own service or something along those lines, you can go to our download area on www.mscrm-addons.com. Then you'll see right there at the top, you'll be able to get your client applications or your local install server pieces, Documents Core PAC server, things of that nature. So these are already available. One of the things that I think is very, very important is the compatibility of it. So if you have version 9, of course you have to use the version 9 solutions. Okay, so any kind of new trial or anything like that you're doing, make sure you're getting the version 9 versions of our products. That's kind of hard to say. And then the other thing too is if you're on 8.2, the version 9's versions are backwards compatible. So one of the things that we always kind of suggest is that since if you know that your version 9 upgrade is coming soon, you can go ahead and you can actually request a new license from us, the version 9 license, install the version 9 versions of the actual products themselves. And then so when Microsoft does the update, or when the version 9 comes out for on-prem, you'll be already ready to go. I mean, you won't have to do anything with, like, say, any of the products, Documents, Core PAC, or Attachment Extractor, or anything like that. They'll be ready. So I'd highly suggest working that in. That way, that's not another thing that you have to think about when that update's coming. Okay. So as far as like the upgrade path, it's really simple to do. I mean, if you've used our products before and we've asked you to update to another version, you know how simple it is. It doesn't require a reinstall or reconfiguration. For on-premise or for online, where you're actually like hosting the server piece or you're hosting the client pieces, you just download it from the website, and then you run the installer. The installer automatically sees that you have an older version of the product installed, and it updates it to the latest version. Keeps all your configurations and everything like that. There's really nothing you have to do. You just have to run the installer. For online services, we're going to perform the update for you, so you have it a lot easier. So that's your Documents Core PAC online services and your Attachment Extractor online services. For the Documents Core PAC online service, the only thing that you would actually need to update yourself would be your template designer or Documents Core PAC clients. You just need to update those. That's it. And usually there's only like 1 or 2 of them, depending on how big your organization is. But it's relatively simple to do. So I want to talk about here, these are some of the features and roadmap that are coming. So just general updates all across the board. We've tried to simplify license management. Basically, if you used our products before, you know that there's a license manager. It's a product that gets installed with any server piece. That will still be there, but we've also moved a lot of the stuff into Dynamics 365 under the Settings tab. Basically, all you would have to do now is go right into Settings and then choose the product that you have, like say for example Documents Core PAC, and then you'll see in there that you'll have like your licensing tab. You just click on that, and you can apply your new license right in there in Dynamics 365. Also, that we do have a per user option for a lot of our products. You can actually define under this tab here who actually you're going to assign these licenses to. So we've simplified it so you can do everything right inside of Dynamics 365. You don't have to go anywhere else to kind of where's this license manager? I mean, I don't know. It's easy. You just go in, go to the product, and there you go. You can update the license and assign licenses to people. Very simple. Another thing that's coming up is GDPR compliance. This goes into effect May 25th, 2018. If you are joining me from the European Union, you guys probably already know about this. Everywhere else in the world, you may or may not know about this. Highly suggest that you look it up because if you deal with any European Union customers or anything like that, this will affect you. So highly suggest to look that up. But our products will be GDPR compliant by the effective date. So there's no need to worry about anything like that. UI compatibility for version 9 is ready. So for the web client, well, we're ready to go. The unified client interface compatibility is in progress. Basically, what we're kind of waiting on is more of a final version from Microsoft before we try to implement anything into it. If you played around with version 9, you already know that the unified client interface is in parts. We wanted to get for the whole thing to get ready to go, and then we'll definitely make that compatibility available. From the technical standpoint, we we already kind of offer this, but really didn't push it kind of out there. But we have the server-to-server authentication. This is basically more along the lines for our for the Dynamics 365 online users. Basically, what the server authentication does for you is it allows you to use our products, but then we don't have to store any of your password information or anything like that. Basically, you're using your Dynamics 365 login to allow our app to function and access your Dynamics 365. So the authentication that's done is between, you do it through Microsoft and give our app permission to use it. It's kind of similar to like if I go to a website and they ask me to sign up, it gives you little buttons to sign up with Facebook or sign up with Google or, things of that nature. That's basically the same thing that we're doing here. So I can use my Google login to get to get on this website, to authenticate with this website. The other thing, this happened just a little while ago. So TLS support 1.2. That's definitely supported. That's one of those things that that has happened. That's just a higher level of encryption. So it's a really good thing. The other thing we're going to be offering here is support for the new attribute types. Again, I've kind of touched on these in the beginning. The multi-select option set, you can see a little example right here of what a multi-select option set would be. Be able to select a whole bunch of different things, so that's really great. That will be available. It's available now for all products except for Documents Core PAC. That we hope to have available shortly after the new year. So you'll be able to use those in Documents Core PAC. And planned would be support for the virtual entities. We need to kind of take a look, see how that's all going to work, and then add that to our product. So that's one of the things that's definitely planned for next year as well. Now to get into the specific products themselves. Of course, my favorite, Documents Core PAC. One of the things that I'm really excited about, and if you've been to my last, or I think it was my previous webinar, the one before, conditions and conditional formatting. This is going to be some functionality that we're going to be adding to kind of extend that functionality from Word to kind of make it a lot easier. I have played around with it a little bit, seen it in action. It's kind of a point-and-click interface to build these conditional statements. Some of the things that we're also going to be able to do is to the conditional formatting, which is going to be really, really interesting, such as different it's going to be really, really cool. It's definitely going to be something that I will be doing a webinar on next year once we're ready to release that. But it's basically going to extend a lot of things that you can do with the conditions in the future. So I'm really excited about that one. The next thing would be commands, the one-click actions. Again, we have done a webinar on this before as well. Basically, it allows you with the Documents Core PAC dialog to configure certain settings, and then all the users have to do is click on that particular setting, and then it performs those actions. Sometimes, you can give the user as much interaction as you'd like, or you can actually show them a few things, or whatever. One of the big things about that was that if you messed up when you were configuring one, you had to delete it. You couldn't edit it. So we're bringing in basically an admin configuration piece for this. It's going to be really easy to create and edit these. One of the things that's going to be great about this is this will also add the conditional template selection. And a few other things that you're going to be able to put in there to make these one-click actions really, really robust and very cool. The next thing is display rules. This is something I think is great and was also needed. You're going to be able to show your availability based on security rules. So let's say, for example, I'm on a quote, and I have one person who's in my sales team, and they have the sales security role, and the other person who's on my accounting team, and they have that particular security role. Depending on their security role, I can make those buttons available for, I can have it to where my salespeople can generate quotes and send it to a customer, and I can have it to where my accounting team generates reports based on this particular quote. So they'll just be able to see their button, so you won't have this big thing where you have to scroll through a bunch of buttons to get to the correct one. You just say that this is for this particular one, this for this particular one. You'll be able to select based on that. The other thing is full support for the mobile client. This is something that's been asked for a lot. So you'll be able to generate documents and everything like that on the fly from your mobile client, which is going to be really, really great, helpful. Also, we're going to expand kind of, if for multi-part documents. This is something that is already in the product, but it can be a little bit difficult to use at times. We've noticed that. So basically what a multi-part document is it allows me to kind of take several different templates and, PDFs from SharePoint and, merge them all together basically into one large workbook or like a proposal or a large document. So we're going to make that a lot easier to use. So this is one of those things where you'll be able to kind of based on a few things conditional-wise in your workflows and things like that, be able to build these proposals or large documents and kind of put them all together into one document, into one kind of workbook or a large document. Some of the things that are planned that are coming up, is Adobe eSign integration. We already have AssureSign and DocuSign. We will be adding Adobe eSign as well. Chart integration. Before you get too excited, this is not like it's not Excel data. You can't use your Excel data and import that. Basically, this is going to be kind of like our own thing where we're adding this to where you can like make your own charts inside of Word, kind of add that in there. That's something that's kind of been asked for, and that's one thing that again is a kind of a very exciting thing to be able to add these charts to documents. That's one thing that's been asked for a lot as well. Lastly, we're going to be adding support for audit reports and roll-up requests. For audit reports, this is really, really nice because, like for example, with SSRS, you can't access the audit reports inside Dynamics 365. You will be able to with Documents Core PAC, so you'll be able to create these reports based on this data, this audit data, from Dynamics 365. So you'll be able to generate these rich reports from it and all these audit reports and things like that. So you'll be able to have it. And roll-up requests. That's one of those things that is, excuse me, really cool. A little while ago on one of my previous webinars that I did, I showed an example of where I had an account and I was interested in all the opportunities related to that account, and then all the all the quotes that went out based on those opportunities. And I had to do that with, a lot of trickery and a lot of, static documents and things of that nature, kind of plugging that all in. With the roll-up request, you're just going to be able to do that right away. You'll be able to get the account, all the contacts, everything like that. You'll be able to put that in there. It's just going to be a much easier way to get to all this data. So. For telephone integration, one of the things that's coming is the server component is going to be deprecated. So all the configuration now for the telephone integration server piece is going to take place inside of Dynamics. Okay. So that'll be nice. That's just another component that you won't need to install on a server somewhere. You'll just be able to run the installer, import the solutions, and then all your configurations and everything like that is going to take place inside of Dynamics. Okay. With that, of course, the server license is going to be deprecated. That was one of the things we, when you bought telephone integration, you would buy the server piece, and that would come with 5 client licenses. So now, it's just that'll go away. You'll buy basically it's a minimum of 5 licenses that you still have to buy, but you won't need a server license, so you just need the client licenses. Another thing that's planned is a client redesign. This is something that I'm looking forward to, just for ease of use and just bringing it up to date. So it should be really nice. So going on to our next product that I want to talk about is Activity Tools. So Activity Tools already supports native signatures inside of Dynamics. It's one of those things that a lot of people have kind of asked for. We've already kind of put that in the product. I think it's already released. I think in the last version it got released, but we really didn't kind of bring that out there, so I wanted to mention that now. The next thing would be queue support inside of dashboards and My Inbox. What these things are basically, it's actually a really cool thing. So the queue support would be like, say for example, if I had an account and I had an Activity Tools pane on there, it would basically show me all activities associated with that account. Well, with the queue support, actually, I can actually bring in a secondary Activity Tools window, and I can define it to where it's basically like all activities associated with this account's primary contact. Okay? So now what that allows me to do is, instead of going, so if I'm on the account and I want to, having to go to the primary contact and then kind of go back and flip back and forth, I'm able to do it all on one page. Just trying to simplify everything and kind of bring everything together. That's basically what that queue support does. So there's a lot of neat features. So you can basically define what you want to see. The My Inbox, basically, that is one of those things that it's a feature that we used to have on the 2011 version of Activity Tools, and we're kind of bringing that back. Basically, this is going to be you're going to be able to see all activities associated with yourself. So you're going to be able to see all that on your dashboard. You're going to be able to embed that in there, see every activity that you kind of had a part of right there, so you'll be able to find things. So it is kind of getting to, it's like My Inbox / Outlook / all my activities all in one. You'll be able to see that. So it's really cool feature. Yeah, so talk a little bit about Attachment Extractor. The most important thing for Attachment Extractor would be the GDPR compliance. One of those things that's going to be happening is delete tracking. So basically, we're going to be kind of monitoring and see if you delete a file on SharePoint. Basically what it's going to do is, if you delete a record in Dynamics, then we're going to delete those files that Attachment Extractor has extracted on SharePoint. Okay, so that way, you don't have to, when you're having to delete those records after a certain amount of time, you don't have to think about having to go to SharePoint and do that as well. So it's going to kind of keep everything all synced up. The other thing is, you're going to be able to, this is a planned thing. It's basically be able to the revert extraction service. And basically what this is going to do is going to revert all processes performed by Attachment Extractor, put everything back the way that it was. And that works out really, really well. UI updates. So one of the things that we're bringing into the UI is the kind of a thing where you're going to actually see the extraction process progress and statistics on that. So a little bit more in depth. Some people that are using it now, they still say that they want to see more, how the progress is going, things of that nature. So we definitely want to make that available to them. The last thing I thought is one of the most exciting things to me is the white and black list based on views. So right now, Attachment Extractor, you can blacklist and whitelist entities. What this allows you to do is it allows you to take it down to the attribute level rather than the entity level, okay? And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, for accounts, I have a couple different types of accounts. I have I have partners and I have customers. And let's say, for example, like all the attachments and everything like that for my customers, I want to actually leave in CRM, and all the attachments for my partners, I want to extract to SharePoint. And this will allow me to do that. So we're actually able now to go one level deeper, and you can actually like fine tune and get in and actually get the attachments out that you want and leave the attachments in CRM that are important to you. So that's a really cool feature, I think. So this brings us to the end. Again, as I said before, this is the last meeting that we're going to be doing with Meeting Burner. Thanks everybody for coming. I really appreciate the support all year this year. Next year we're going to start this up. We're going to be using Skype for Business for this, so be on the lookout for our our next invite for these. We're going to start these up, I think, again January. January, the end of January, right around in there. Again, always appreciate feedback. Please let us know if there's anything in particular that you want to see. We'll try to get that into a webinar for you. You can find us here on the web at always at www.mscrm-addons.com. For the Help Center, just go to our website and click on the Support tab. It'll get you to what you need. Also, don't forget, we got a really great blog. It's going to have all kinds of different resources and everything like that, how to configure things, some of the things that we're doing, things of that nature, all on there. So just want to go ahead and open it up to any questions if there's anything. I don't think there was very much. This was just kind of more of a information thing for everyone, just to kind of see what we're doing, what's happening with version 9, and what you can expect from it, and what you can expect down the road from us. So really appreciate everyone coming. It really means a lot. And we'll talk to you soon. Michael, do you have anything that you want to add?
No. Well, thanks, Clint. I think that was a good summary. I think it was a lot of information to digest, to be honest. So kind of,
very much so.
Yeah, next to the roadmap of our individual solutions, I think the most important takeaways to repeat that is, if you plan to go to version 9, please ensure to request a license and download the latest version from our website, and you should be all set. So it should be an easy upgrade path for all of you.
Right, most definitely.
The same is true for new trials. Other than that, I think it was all set. As said, the recording will be sent within 2 business days, most likely tomorrow, maybe Monday, depends, along with the information. We will also send the price information along with this follow-up email. So I think we should be good. If any questions come up, as Clint said, don't hesitate to reach out to us via support or office at mscrm-addons.com. Happy to answer all questions you might have.
Yep. All right, great. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. We'll see you next year. All right. Bye now.